In late 2025 and let's just say early 2026, longtime Resident Evil leaker Dusk Golem, who is on X as Aesthetic Gamer 1, sparked a lot of rumors that Capcom's next two remakes, would actually be Code Veronica and Resident Evil 0. Now, multiple gaming outlets, they ran with his claims. According to the sources, Dusk Golem says Capcom will announce a Code Veronica remake later in 2026 with a release around 2027. And then they're going to follow that up with a Resident Evil 0 remake in 2028. He also denied that a Resident Evil 5 remake is due anytime soon, which is what everybody thought we were going to get next, saying instead later this year, an RE remake that starts with C and ends with Code Veronica is going to be announced. So in short, the leak paints a roadmap where Code Veronica comes first, announced this year, shelves 2027, and then RE0 comes afterward. Now, he claims that both Code Veronica and Resident Evil 0 are already in development as full RE engine remakes. So this aligns with earlier reports. For example, an IGN news expert via Reddit explicitly stated that 0 and Code Veronica are the next two Resident Evil remakes scheduled to release. VGC's report noted that Dusk Golem previously claimed those two projects were already in the works. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. I read every single comment on every single video, and today I'm going to give you guys everything I know: release schedule, announcement timing, what other details we have when it comes to Capcom's just massive remake campaign of all the Resident Evils. Now, Dusk says Code Veronica will be announced sometime this year. And he tweeted or X'd, whatever. He said, no, there's not a Resident Evil 5 remake that's going to be announced. Not this year. Instead, later this year, an RE remake that starts with, of course, C is going to be announced. Video Game Chronicles said the same thing. Said later this year, Capcom will unveil a remake of the Dreamcast game Resident Evil Code Veronica. I have to ask you guys, did you ever play Code Veronica? Did you own a Sega Dreamcast? Seriously, I'm really curious if you guys did it all. And, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I know we're thinking, oh, we're just going to go down the numbers. But if you look at the absolute jam-packed just amount of Resident Evil titles that are out there, sooner or later they had to veer off. And I kind of like the fact that they're going to go off the main path and do some of these other ones like Resident Evil 0, Code Veronica, because a lot of people never got to experience these games. Like I said, I guarantee most of you have never even seen a Dreamcast in real life, right? So there's a good chance you never played Code Veronica. Now, as for the leak schedule, I mean, it was, summarized, confirmed, whatever you want to say, by MP First and Tweaktown 2, Code Veronica is targeting a Q1 2027 launch. And then Resident Evil 0 is slated for 2028. So, for example, MP First leak article cited Dusk Golem as saying the Code Veronica remake launch should be coming out early 2027. Q1, of course, is the first 3 months. So January, February, March. While the Resident Evil 0 remake, it is looking for 2028. And if I had to guess, I would say they're probably going to try to keep it on the same vein. Probably Q1 or Q2. They don't want to mess around with Q3 or Q4 where all your big titles are being launched. They definitely don't want to get in the way of the superstorm or the hurricane that is GTA 6. Not that people would not go get this, because those are two entirely different types of games, but I think it's safe to say that everything is going to get swallowed up by GTA 6, regardless if it's of the same type of vibe or game or anything. You only have so much money, you're probably going to get GTA 6. Just saying that. So if we do get Code Veronica in early 2027 and 0 in 2028, you can fully expect them to be in I would say the spring. That's kind of where I'm going to go. Now, there's been other reports that are mentioning new voice actors and also expanded story content. And once again, 0 and Veronica, a lot of people don't even know what the stories are about. But MP First obtained casting info for RE0 and its codename Project Chamber, and noted that the remakes will not use the original actors. But none of those details are official. Tweaktown's article warned that fans should approach leaks with caution and acknowledged Capcom has not confirmed any of it. But to me, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, how old are those games? Those games are old. I mean, we don't even know what has happened to those voice actors. We don't know if they're alive. We don't know if they're still in the industry. We have no clue what they're doing. We don't know if their voices sound the same. So I think that's pretty normal to say that they probably won't use the original voice actors. And then again, I don't think a lot of people are attached to those voice actors. These were not high-level games. These were not games like, let's say, you have God of War, you have to have the right voice actor, or Master Chief, you have to have the right voice actor, stuff like that. This isn't on that level, so I don't think that's really a big deal. And then let's talk about credibility with Dusk Golem. He's been a frequent source of RE rumors. VGC calls him a super reliable sleuth with a history of accurate reporting on Resident Evil. That's kind of his bread and butter, honestly. Nintendo Life even noted his past successes with RE News and quoted his tweet with confidence, "I promise you." So, I mean, I think it's safe to say that he's a trusted insider. Now, on the other hand, there is a little bit of mixed reaction. The skeptics that are always out there like to remind us that leaks often change or fail to materialize. For example, some Reddit users say to take all this with a grain of salt, of course. In fact, one leak article explicitly cautioned this as information unconfirmed by Capcom. But I'm going to push back on that. We cover leaks and rumors and speculation and confirmed details on this channel almost daily. And when you have an insider or a leaker like Dusk Golem or like Tom Henderson or people like that, more times than not, it ends up being right. Now, things can change on the back end, and they could leak something and then it completely change that they have no control over. But if he's saying that these games are already being worked on, and we're already coming up on an announcement and then a release and then an announcement and a release, I find it hard to believe that we shouldn't trust this and go down this path with him. I really, really do. So in my professional opinion as a YouTuber, which that carries no weight, I know, but from what I've seen in the past, I'm pretty confident that you're going to see Code Veronica come out in 2027. I'm also very confident that we're going to get a trailer or some kind of marketing for it. Nothing probably huge, but it's going to be pushed out in 2026. So no official announcement has come from Capcom. Just want to make sure we reiterate that. The only confirmed upcoming RE project is Resident Evil, the new one, right? The main series sequel that's due in February, which we're all excited about, right? But the Dusk Golem leak, that suggests after that, Capcom's plan is Code Veronica and then Resident Evil 0. And it fits right in with giving us these crazy remakes in between all the mainline entries, which that's the pattern now. I mean, look at Gears of War. Look at Elder Scrolls. Look at Fallout. They're doing the same thing. They're generating hype in between the mainline games, which take years to make, and they don't want the franchise to fall off or get forgotten. So if it's true, this is going to continue that trend of modernizing older titles. I mean, RE2, RE3, RE4. Eventually, we will get RE5, but I'm okay with the fact that they're going to veer off and go with Veronica and 0. So you guys let me know what you think. I'm saying we're probably going to get this reveal probably in the fall, maybe late summer, maybe August, September, something like that. Could be earlier, but that's kind of what my gut tells me. Are you guys excited? Do you think they should have done RE5, or are you okay with Veronica and Code 0 or Resident Evil 0? I'll see you soon.